now, so I think I'll go straight into it and just introduce myself. I'm Clive Kefford. I'm the developer at Jacana Heights here, and we are actually in the apartments this time. So that's why we had a slightly later start than normal, because Reagan and I were kind of clashing and getting feedback because we were in the same room, but we've sorted that out now. And my job really is just to introduce the apartments and give people an overview and introduce the people who are speaking. So we're all going to talk for a short period of time, just a few minutes. We like to keep it short and punchy because otherwise it gets a bit boring, and you can normally get the information across quickly. And also because it's important to leave time for questions for people afterwards. So today, the theme is to talk about the construction quality, which is something really important when I set about starting this project, particularly because we are aiming the project at the diaspora community who are used to very, very good standards. And we needed to ensure that we were building to those same quality standards. So the speaker we're having to talk today is Paul Habinyamannya. Sorry, Paul, struggle with your name there. And Reagan will also be speaking as normal, and then we'll leave some time for the questions afterwards. So as a brief introduction to the apartments, we have 21 apartments in phase 1. They're in a beautiful location in Buziga, overlooking Lake Victoria, which I can see from here. Unfortunately, it's a rainy day today, so it's not quite as outstanding views as it is when it's sunny, but it's still a beautiful place. We're very fortunate in that being located here, we can benefit from not only the views, but also a lot of recent improvements in the infrastructure. So Lekuli Road, which goes straight down into town, and the top clock tower has just been finished. We're completing the road up to the development. And with the two of those improvements being made, the transit time to Entebbe is very, very quick. I mean, at the moment, it takes me about 35 minutes, no more than that. And it'll be even quicker than that when we finish those. And at the same time, you're in town, so it's easy reach of the clock, well, down to the clock tower should be, depending on traffic, pretty easy. You're in town, you're close to Muyanga as well, and a lot of great new facilities, fantastic hotel called Latitude Zero that we quite often have meetings at now. Anyway, I won't go into too much detail. I'm going to, as I said, I want to try and keep it short and punchy, so I'm going to introduce Reagan. Reagan, are you online now?
Yes, I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, I'll pass you over to Reagan now.
Yeah. Good afternoon from Kampala. My name is Reagan Kusi. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing at Jacana Heights. We have not done this before, having the Zoom calls at the apartment, so it's really good. I'm actually in one of the rooms of a very fantastic 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah, so what I want to talk about really is first of all, what we offer in terms of why we are different from the rest of the people in the market. Number one, we are giving super space, big space in terms of size of the apartment. Our 1-bedroom starts at 105 square meter. The 2-bedroom starts at 129 square meter. And the 3-bedroom starts at about 176 square meter. So space. The second thing we are offering that not many are doing is the quality finishing. you know, the small things that people overlook but mean a lot. You know, if a switch is supposed to be straight, it's straight. If the staircase is supposed to be a certain measurement, it should be. So that's one thing that we thought was very important. And that's what we have also offered. The third is the ambience. We are on top of Buziga Hill, overlooking the city, overlooking the lake. It's an amazing, amazing location. So those are the three things that we thought would offer to this market. Another thing I wanted to speak about was how, you know, if you're interested in this project, how to get, you know, how to pay for it. Obviously, the easiest and fastest way is to pay upfront, you know, cash. Secondly, you can use the banks. We have very good relations with the big banks here in Kampala. We have good relations with Stanbic Bank, with KCB, with Housing Finance, and other banks. I can just briefly tell you about the interest rates now. I think with right now we are at 8% on the dollar, and also can be negotiated, and I think at 16 as of now with the shilling. Yes, so that's with the bank. There's another way of also purchasing equity financing, where you use a property that you own to buy this property that with us. So you use that, and it's remortgaged to get this apartment. The third way is also to deal with us. We can tailor make an offer for you, depending on how you want to do it. You know, we usually ask for a down payment, and then we can tailor make it depending on how you want to space out your payments. That's also another way. Yes, so basically those are the three ways of how you can get the financing done. As we speak now, we have about 8 that are sold and 2 on the way to be sold. So we are happy with how things are going for the first phase. I will briefly talk about the rental returns. We have seen when we opened the doors in January for tenants to come in, we have seen a great interest, especially on the Airbnb side of things. People are coming in to stay 10 days, 2 weeks, stay, and it has been going very well. So rental returns are good for the 1 bedroom with an independent valuer on the rental returns, an independent company called Remax. The 1 bedroom rent that we accept is about 1,200. For the 2 bedroom is about 2,200, and the 3 bedroom is about 2,600. All this, of course, we can discuss in detail when we get into contact. Yes, so as you said, you wanted to keep it short, so I wanted to leave time for any other questions. But before that, I think Paul will take over, and then we can have the questions later. Thank you.
Paul, are you there? Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Paul Haberimana, as introduced earlier. I'm a director with Hub Construction, working on the Jacana Heights project. And the topic today is to do with ensuring quality construction in Uganda, with specific reference to Jacana Heights. In general, quality construction means that a project is completed within a defined guideline set from the start of the project and the works. And in specific to quality management in construction, the most important decisions regarding the quality of a completed facility are made during the design and planning stages rather than during construction. But also it's very key during the construction, because during construction, you ensure that everything that was designed and planned for is followed and implemented as it was envisaged to be seen. It is during the preliminary stages that component configurations, material specifications, the functional performance of the building, and the materials you're selecting are decided. That's why it's very key during the planning stages to ensure quality. And in regards to Jacana Heights in particular, it's a very big advantage that the client, the CEO of Jacana Heights, is quite exposed and has other developments around Europe. So it helps that during the designing and planning for Jacana Heights in Uganda, from that exposure, there's a lot of design specifications that come in to help bring out a very good quality product within Kampala, so that you get a property here that is a very high quality, but it's like you're living either in Spain or wherever. So that key exposure of the client is very key in quality. But now coming to the actual construction process, as much as quality starts from the design process, it's also very key during construction to ensure the quality of the project. And to ensure this, we normally have a quality control process. And under the quality control process, one of the key aspects of it is establishing standards, which we normally discuss and agree with the architect as well as the client. And periodically, let's say quarterly, we always have inspections, joint inspections with the client and the architect to go over all the design aspects and what's actually being implemented. This is an addition to the weekly inspections that are carried out by the architect and any other consultants on the project to ensure that quality is still being enforced in all aspects in terms of the construction methodologies that are being used, the kind of materials that are being used, the labor that is being used, the technology that's being used on the project. So another key aspect that we normally implement for quality is the internal audits we carry out. Us as Hub Construction Services, we also have our own internal audits because we have a quality control officer. So he's normally on site and he goes through, he normally inspects to see how the concrete is being cast, how the tiles are being laid, is it following the methodology that was agreed? Is it satisfactory? Are the materials being delivered to site for use to standard? So all those small, they seem like small aspects, but they have a big contribution in terms to the overall quality of the product and the project. Another aspect is selecting the quality materials. This, as I mentioned earlier, it's also key from the planning stage. And with the exposure of the client, just giving an example of Jacana Heights, with the exposure of the client and the architect on board, as well as ourselves as Hub, it has been very helpful that the key products like the tiles, the showers, the sanitary fittings, the kitchen fittings are selected very carefully to meet the quality that is intended. Because the project has been designed in a way and has been done in a way to have quality satisfaction to the client or to the tenant, whichever way you come into the project. Another aspect is, key aspect is selecting the subcontractors we use on site, especially like the people doing the electrical fittings or the plumbing fittings. They normally go through a rigorous process in terms of submitting their specifications for all the kind of materials they're going to use, their labor force that's evaluated by both the architect as well as us, Hub Construction Services, to ensure that anybody that's subcontracted on the site is going to actually deliver what the project is intended to have. Another key aspect in regards to Jacana is maintenance, because we are there as the main contractors on the project, but we're also offering a service of after sales maintenance. So we carry out maintenance on the project, even after we have completed and handed over to ensure that the product still remains good even 15 years from now, which is a very big plus. And that's one of the big differences from other projects, because on most other projects, the contractor will complete and hand over the project. So all, in case there are any issues or things like that, they're all handed over to the client or to the buyer, and it becomes very difficult. So with Jacana Heights, there's that continued maintenance from both the client as well as the actual person who did the construction, which is Hub Construction Services. That's generally, in brief, that's what it is to do with quality on the project. Yeah. And,
okay, yeah, that's great, Paul. That's exactly what we wanted to hear. And I thought the last point's really important, that the maintenance is a really key aspect to keep the value of your investment, because if it deteriorates over time, and I've seen developments like this over 5 years, paint can start peeling off, the pool starts, if it's not maintained, will go kind of green and murky, and no one wants to live there in those circumstances. So the money that you've put in to buy the apartments is depreciated in value unless the maintenance is looked after properly. So that, yeah, that's really important. Okay, thanks for keeping everything really brief there and covering all the key points. I think what we would like to do now is just see if anyone's got any questions. What we tend to do, what we've done in the past, is that we send this out to a big database of people to also email in questions and phone in. And if you prefer to do that, then you know that's fine as well. But we've got some people live with us at the moment, so and we're also on site, so that means that we can give examples of quality, and if you want to look at the tiling or any other aspects which are particularly important to you, anyone who's live at the moment is able to do that. So I'll throw it open to see if there's anyone who would like to ask any questions. Either just unmute yourself and speak, or you can text them in, and I think Reagan's monitoring the texts we're getting in as well. So okay, I'll throw it open to you all now. Any questions?
Yeah. Also, in case you want to contact us, I've left an email address and phone contact in the chat. You can also read about us more, www.jacanaheights.com. So there's more information there, some pictures. Of course, if you'd also want some pictures sent of the specific apartments, we can do that when you contact. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it a couple of minutes and see if anyone wants to ask questions. If not, we'll close it, and we'll send out copies to